Writing slope-intercept form from graphs and other forms. Today we will write the slope-intercept form from graphs, from the standard form, and from the point-slope form. This is the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Let's begin by finding the slope-intercept form from a graph. To do this, we start by finding the y-intercept. In this case, the y-intercept is -2. Then we find the slope. In this case, the slope is positive. We are going up 6 and to the right 2. 6 over 2 simplifies to 3. To write y equals mx plus b, we would write y equals 3x minus 2. This is the slope-intercept form from the graph. Pause the video and try the next example yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. First, look for the y-intercept. In this case, the y-intercept is 5. Now, figure out the slope. The slope is negative, down 2, right 3, so a -2/3. The slope-intercept form of the equation is y equals -2/3 x plus 5. Now we will write slope-intercept form from standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. We'll follow several steps to change this to y equals mx plus b. Here is an example. 3x minus 4y equals 36. Start by subtracting 3x from both sides of the equation. This gives us -4y equals -3x plus 36. Now divide both sides of the equation by -4. This means to divide every term by -4. Our final answer then is y equals positive 3/4 x, since a negative divided by a negative is positive, minus 9, since a positive divided by a negative is negative. This is the slope-intercept form of the equation. Notice we started by moving the x term, and we wrote the x term first since we knew we would want it first in the end, and then we divided everything by the coefficient of y. Every time you're converting from standard form to slope-intercept form, start by moving the x term first, then divide by the coefficient of y. In our last example, we are going to convert from the point-slope form of the equation to the slope-intercept form. This equation is in point-slope form. Before we attempt to convert it, we're first going to graph it. To do this, we're first going to identify the point that was used to make this equation. This will be the opposite of 5, which is -5, and the opposite of -7, which is +7. The point we are using is -5, +7. The slope in this equation is -3 over 5, down 3 and to the right 5 from our starting point. This is the line that is indicated by this point-slope form of the equation. By graphing this line now, we can use it to check our work later after we have converted the equation to slope-intercept form. Our goal in converting to slope-intercept form is to get y equals mx plus b. So our goal is to isolate y. Before we begin, however, we need to eliminate the denominator from this fraction, so we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 5. The 5's cancel out, leaving us with 5 times y minus 7 equals -3 times x plus 5. Now we can distribute both sides of the equation. For 5y minus 35 equals -3x minus 15. Since we are trying to isolate y, we will add 35 to both sides of the equation. This leaves us with 5y equals -3x plus 20. Now divide both sides of the equation by 5. This means to divide every term by 5. Our final solution is y equals -3/5 x plus 4. This is the slope-intercept form of the equation. We can check whether we were right by checking it against the line we already graphed. The y-intercept is 4, and the slope is -3 over 5. So we did correctly convert the point-slope form of the equation into the slope-intercept form. In today's lesson, we first found slope-intercept form from a graph. We then converted from standard form to slope-intercept form. Finally, we converted from point-slope form to slope-intercept form. Please refer back to these notes often as you complete your homework. Thank you.